Hey guys, this is Miss Dupe. Today we are going to be reviewing for our Chapter 3 test. Yesterday you should have done some of the Chapter 3 test review. Today you're going to make sure you fill in the rest of your Chapter 3 test review so that you have it all finished and you're ready for the test on Thursday. So, number 1 says graph the proportional relationship from the table. This does not mean that you need to determine if it's linear, proportional, or neither. It literally just means take the numbers from the table, graph them here. So you have your x coordinate and your y coordinate. So 2, 3 means you're going to go to your graph, start at our origin, go over to 2, up to 3, and make a point. Our next coordinate is 4, 6. That means you're going to go over to 4, up to 6. Make a point. The next point is 8, 12. Count over 8 and up to 12 and make a point. And then it looks like our last point, 12, 14, is actually going to go off our graph. That's okay. We're going to go over to 12, up to where we think about 14 is, which is probably like right there, and we're gonna make a point. That is it. You don't have to connect them or anything. Number 2 says use the table from question 1. What is the rate of change of this table? What is the slope? Are they the same? So rate of change and slope should be exactly the same. And this is our change in y over change in x, or our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You can use either. So since this problem already says it's proportional, I think the easiest way to do this is our change in y over change of x. Find one of the changes. So our change in y is a plus 3, so 3 will be our top number. Our change in x is a plus 2. 2 is going to be our bottom number. 3 over 2 does not reduce. And yes, our slope and rate of change are the same, so this should be your answer for number 2. Number 3, which slope is greater? The line y equals 4x minus 2 or the graph? So you need to find the slope of this equation and the slope, the rise over run of this graph. The slope of our equation is our m, which is right here. It's 4. The slope of our graph is our rise over run, which it looks like we go up 3 and over 4. The greater slope is going to be the greater number. So it would be 4, which is the equation. 4. The equation. Number 4 says calculate the slope of the two triangles below. Are they similar? So for the slope of the two triangles, we have to figure out our rise over our run. So of the bigger triangle, our rise is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the run, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our bottom number is going to be 8. 4 over 8 reduces to be 1/2. So that's our official slope of that one. The slope of our smaller triangle is 1 over 1, 2, which is the same. So you would put similar. All right. Moving on to the second page. Find the slope of each line below. So remember, that's our rise over run. So on the first line, you need to start at our furthest left point, count how many up, how many over. So on our first line, we're going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going over. 1, 2, 3. And 6 over 3 reduces to 2. For number 6, we're starting at our furthest left point, counting how many up, how many over. Looks like we go up 1 and we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1/5 does not reduce. Our next one, we're starting at our furthest left point. We're going down and over. Down means negative, and we're going down 3 and over 1, and that also does not reduce. For numbers 8 through 10, we are going to use the slope formula. So that's our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for each of these problems, I highly recommend you put your x1, your y1, your x2, and your y2. So number 8, you're doing 1 minus negative 5 over 2 minus negative 3, which these will change into big plus signs since they're double negatives. And you'll have 6 over 5, which does not reduce. It changes to a mixed number, and we don't like that. Number 9, this is your x1, your y1, your x2, your y2. 0 minus 1 over 7 minus 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 7 minus 0 is 7. This also does not reduce. The last one, this is your x1, your y1, your x2, your y2. So we're going to have 4 minus 2 over 4 minus 2, which is 2 over 2. And 2 over 2 reduces to 1. Going on to number 11, 12, and 13, they look like they're going to be like 5, 6, and 7, but if you read the directions, it says state the y-intercept B of the lines below. So our y-intercept is where our line is crossing the y-axis in each of these. So you're literally just telling one number. So for number 11, it's crossing at the y-axis right here, which is at negative 1. For number 12, it's crossing the y-axis here at positive 3. And for number 13, we're crossing the y-axis at positive 6. For number 14 and 15, we're combining what we did for 5, 6, and 7 in 11, 12, and 13. So the first thing you need to know is these equations should be in the form y equals mx plus b. Your m is your slope, which is your rise over run. So our equation for this one is going to be up 3 over 3. And 3 over 3 reduces to 1. So this is y equals 1x. Then for our y-intercept, we're going to look and see where this line hits our y-axis, which is right here at positive 3. So we're going to put plus 3. For number 15, our equation is going to be y equals, our rise over run is 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2. 4 over 2 reduces to 2. So we're going to have y equals 2x. Then we're going to look at our y-axis, and we're going to see where our line hits our y-axis. Our y-axis is being touched by the line right at the origin, which is 0. So you can put plus 0 or you can put nothing. The last page. So on the last page, you have to draw some examples of a line that represents each type of slope. So positive slope is a line that needs to go up from left to right. It doesn't matter how steep you draw the line as long as it's going up from left to right. Negative is the opposite. It goes down from left to right. 0 is our zero fun. This is our flat line. And undefined is our cliff. Remember slope dude for these. All right, our last problems are our most challenging ones, so I will give you a good tip. These should be y equals mx plus b equations by the time you're done. And for number 22 and 23, you will also need your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to use. So in number 20, your m is 4, your x is 6, and your y is 10. You're going to plug all of these in the y equals mx plus b equation. So I'm going to zoom in here. So y is 10, m is 4, x is 6, b is a mystery. Then you're going to multiply 4 times 6. So 10 equals 4 times 6, which is 24 plus b. Every time you're going to add or subtract the number away from b. 10 minus 24 is negative 14 equals b. Your final equation needs to include slope and your b. So your final equation is y equals 4x minus 14. So number 21, that's your m. It even says it right there. This is your x, this is your y that you're going to use in your y equals mx plus b equation. 7 is your y equals negative 1/4 times negative 4 plus b. So if you multiply in your calculator negative 1abc4 times negative 4, you're going to get that equals a positive 1 plus b. Then you're going to subtract positive 1 from both sides. And you're going to get 6 equals b. In your equation, you need your m and you need your b. So your final equation is going to be y equals negative 1/4 x plus 6. So for the last two problems, let me zoom out again. You need to do the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is the slope formula, to figure out your m, and then you basically start at the beginning of a problem like 20 and 21 to figure out your b. So this is your x1 and your y1. This is your x2 and your y2. So you are going to have 1 minus 8 over 2 minus 0, which is negative 7 over 2. This is your m. Then you're going to pick one point to use to find your b. And I would pick the easiest ones that you have. Personally, I would go with this one because it includes 0. So now you're going to write your y equals mx plus b equation. So y is going to be the 8. M is what you just found, negative 7 over 2. X is 0, and we're finding b. The nice thing about when you use 0 as your x, if you have one, is that this all goes away. So basically we find out that b is 8. Then you write your final equation. Your m is that, your b is this. You'll write y equals negative 7 over 2x plus 8 as your final answer. Then the last one. This is your x1, your y1. This is your x2 and y2. So you're going to do 1 minus negative 2 over 1 minus negative 5. These are going to turn into plus signs. You're going to get 3 over 6, which reduces to 1/3 when you use your ABC button. You're going to pick the simplest point. So I would pick 1, 1. Those are super easy numbers. You are going to plug these into the y equals mx plus b equation. So 1 equals 1/3 times 1 plus b. This is going to end up being 1 equals 1/3 plus b. We're going to subtract 1/3 from each side. Once you type 1 minus 1 ABC3 in your calculator, you should be getting 2/3 equals your b. So your final equation should be y equals this and this. 1/3 x plus 2/3. And that concludes our review. I will be giving you a test tomorrow. We have been working on slope for over a month. I gave you the opportunity to review yesterday. I'm giving you the same information today. And the test is very, very similar to this review. So if you do this review and you pay attention, you will be successful on the test. Have a good day.